drinking buddies. Well, it's time to crack open all these Texas whiskeys I talked about in a recent video. Find out which one's the best.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies, so I have 4 bottles here. They are all fresh bottle cracks. I cracked them open and poured them in here, let them air out a little bit. 2 of these I've tasted before. That would be the Still Austin and the Garrison Brothers, but it has been over a year since I've had either one. And the Post Oak and this crazy Brimstone whiskey I have never had before. I'm gonna be doing these blind, however, they're kind of different stuff, so I'm probably gonna be able to pick out which is which. Let's go over each bottle and see what each one is about, and then we'll dive right into the blind. So first up, we have Still Austin Cask Strength. This is sitting at 118 proof. So it is cask strength, but it's not too hot. Sitting at 118 is pretty nice. It says that it's aged at least 2 years. Stuff does age a lot faster in Texas. And this is their own distillate, so I like that. It's distilled and bottled in Still Austin, at Still Austin in Texas. I like it when either you make your own product or you source and you're very transparent about it. Next up we have Post Oak. This is straight bourbon whiskey finished in new barrels. So this is a double oaked product, kind of like Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel or Woodford Double Oaked, or those types of bottles. It says that it is this carefully selected straight bourbon whiskey is finished in new charred oak barrels, and Texas rich, bold flavors are created by the Texas heat and new barrel. Distilled in Indiana, aged and bottled by blah blah blah. So this is MGP finished in Texas. So they're pretty transparent on the barrel. They say Indiana, that tells me MGP. Don't have a big problem about that because I like MGP distillate, and they're finishing it in a new charred oak barrel in Texas, so it's probably gonna have some really unique qualities. I bought this one completely sight unseen. I tasted their standard bourbon at the Total Wine. It was 80 proof, and I thought it was not bad for an 80 proofer, so I thought I'd take a crack at this one. It is sitting at 90 proof. That'll be the lightest one we taste today. Next up we have Garrison Brothers. It's a 94 proofer. This is a really, really popular bottle of Texas bourbon made with wheat. So this is a red winter wheat in here. And it is, of course, cooked, distilled, barreled, and bottled by Garrison Brothers Distilling in High, Texas. 100% their distillate, made in Texas, finished in Texas. Everything's done in Texas on that one. Next up we have this Wild Brimstone, and this is technically not a bourbon. The other 3 have been bourbon, but this is made out of 100% corn. So it treads the line of being a bourbon, or it says it's made from roasted blue corn, so it's probably 100% corn, but we don't know that for sure. I don't believe. No, I don't think it does say in here. But this is pot distilled Texas shrub oak smoked, and it just sounds wild. And on the back it says aged at least 1 day in oak. What the heck does that mean? Is that a troll telling us that, yeah, of course it was aged at least a day, otherwise we couldn't put whiskey on the bottle. How old is it? It's pretty darn dark. It has to be older than a day. So, and this is sitting at 106 proof. So that guy should stick out like a sore thumb. So should this, because it's a cask strength. Let's dive right in with glass 1 and see what we got. Oh, okay. This is a little, man, the last time I had Balcones, I picked up peaches off of it. This one's got a little bit of a stone fruit thing going on it too. And it smells a little smoky, so my brain just off the nose is going Balcones here, but. Oh, that is not the Balcones. That's gonna be the Garrison Brothers, I'm almost sure of it. Yeah, that's got a lot of peanut quality. That's got a lot of vanilla. It's got a little bit of cinnamon. This to me is a wheater. It tastes like a wheater, and I believe that's the Garrison Brothers, number 1. And there's a little bit of that peach flavor going on in the flavor as well, especially in the finish. And it has a nice long finish. Man, that's good. If that is the Garrison Brothers, I forgot how good it is. That is That is a solid weeder. Don't know if it's $80 good. I bought the half bottle because the standard bottle is so expensive. But yes, solid. Let's go number 2. Okay. Now this one definitely smells smoky. This smells like a brush fire. I live in the desert, so there's certain smells that I will say things smell like that maybe not everyone in the country will understand, but this to me smells like a desert brush fire. It smells like a little bit of just like desert rain. Like a creosote. Never smelled that on a whiskey before. Oh. I'm not sure what I have there. I'm leaning towards that being this post oak, the double oaked. But that actually could be the Still Austin as well. Whatever it is, I really like it. It's nice and smooth. Got a really good flavor of cherry on this one, and then a lot of oak. A lot of charred oak is coming through on this one. So, but it's not like a tannic drying oak that like completely wrecks my palate. It's like a nice, like sweet younger oak, if that makes sense. I like that. It's a little bit of that tannic oak coming on the finish, but that's good. That's good. All right, as of right now, I think that's the post oak. Number 3. Oh wow, that smells like honey. That smells so sweet. Honey and cornbread. Well, we have certainly found our brimstone. That kind of tastes like I'm chewing on a piece of mesquite. That is a flavor that I'm not entirely sure I like. It's very unique. It takes like the mesquite qualities of like a whiskey del Bach and dials it up to about 11. But yeah, it smells like super smoky. And that's got, like sometimes you get off of the Islay Scotches, you get a smoked meat quality. That is this in droves. This is smoked beef brisket with a little bit of like a barbecue sauce sweetness. Yeah, that's wild. That's definitely the Balconis. Most polarizing one so far. I don't know if I can recommend that one because it's so weird and so unique, but that might be phenomenal in a cocktail. We might have to revisit that later in another episode, which I'm not sure that's it, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Number 4. Okay, so this has got a really sweet nose. Kind of like a pretty standard bourbon nose, like a little citrus, a little vanilla, a little brown sugar. Oh, yeah, that is good. Yeah, that's got a really solid, long finish. Tastes really good. I believe that's got to be the highest proof. That's got to be the Still Austin, because it has a long finish. It's got a little bit of heat. Yeah, I really like that. Barrel char, vanilla, a little bit of a mesquite thing going on that I feel like most Texas whiskeys have, just being aged in the heat gives it that quality. Yeah, number 4 I believe is the Still Austin. All right, drinking buddies, let's go ahead and go through my final guesses. I'll tell you which one was my favorite, which one was my second favorite, which one was my third favorite, etc. Probably let's start there. So favorite to least favorite. I'm gonna go 1, 4, 2, 3. It was very difficult to rate 1, 2, and 4 because I really like them. And 3 is good. It's just such a unique thing. I probably shouldn't have thrown it in this particular blind, but I wanted to do a Texas flight, and it seemed more appropriate than doing the single malt. Number 1, I believe to be the Garrison Brothers. GB, Garrison Brothers. Number 2, I believe to be the Post Oak. Post Oak. Number 3, I believe to be the Brimstone, Balconis Brimstone. And 4, I believe to be the Still Austin. Now, I can't be as excited about this Queen Sweep as I was last time because these bottles are so different, varying proofs. One of them's not even really a bourbon. However, Queen Sweep, guys, Queen Sweep, yeah! All right, so I get my little Queen Sweep logo up there, and yeah, drinking buddies. The bottles that I would say that I would look for in your area if you're curious about trying Texas whiskey out are gonna be this Still Austin Cask Strength, which is now available in Arizona. When I bought it, it wasn't, but now it's at my local Total Wine, so you might check your local Total Wine. And then Garrison Brothers, straight bourbon whiskey from Texas. This is a wheater. If you like wheaters, I would recommend trying this one. It is pricey. It sits at almost 80 bucks, or it sits about at 80 bucks, and you know, that's pricey. For that price, you can get, yeah, my old Rip 10 was less than that retail. However, you know, obviously you can find this and you can't find the old Rip 10. However, it's a pricey bottle, so keep that in mind, but it is very good. Now, would I say it's dramatically better than something like a Maker's 46 or, you know, any of the wood finishing series? No. I would take the Maker's wood finishing series over this bottle. I totally would. Just like this Still Austin Cask Strength, really solid, but it's not a Stag Junior. It's not a Knob Creek Barrel Proof. It's not a Smoke Wagon Uncut. It's just a really good barrel proof that's about 50 bucks that has a unique quality to it from being from Texas. This Post Oak, this is a pretty small company. You might not even be able to find it in your area. It sounded like it was new in the area that my mother lives in. It's based out of Houston, and she lives like an hour north of Houston, and they were just now getting it. So this is a small up-and-coming distillery, so thought it'd be fun to highlight their whiskey in a video, give them a shout out. If you're in Texas and you can find this, it's worth picking up. It was not an expensive bottle, and it's good. It's a good product. And then last up is the Balconis Brimstone. You know, I probably won't buy this one again, but it is a unique bottle that I think would be fun to do a blind with some Arizona stuff. Maybe do a blind with this and my Whiskey Del Bach. Maybe even throw in an Isla Scotch in there just to really see how everything shakes up when it comes to really smoke-forward whiskeys. Drinking buddies, thank you for watching. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and consider sharing this with a friend. And if you hated it, consider sharing it with an enemy. We'll see you on the next one.